this coming year, May 16th to 19th, 2026. Right now, you have a chance to receive 200 UK pounds off your registration if you register for your early bird. It's in Wales, Newport, Wales, looking super exciting. The lineup is looking fabulous for what the presenters are going to be. I'm excited to share a lot with you there. But more than that, hello and welcome to this month's Sustainability Around the World. I'm Shona Chalmers. I'm honored to be your host today and explore the future of sustainability through the lens of artificial intelligence, AI technology, and all the different kinds of ways it can analyze data. For chefs, a lot of times AI is going to look a little abstract, but there's an idea that you can blend technology with tradition and creativity. And joining us today, we have Chef Alistair Esau, based at the V&A Waterfront. He's the culinary leader there, food lead, and not only passionate about flavor, about sustainability, because he's on the sustainability committee with us. He's looking at the greater future with AI. Chef Alistair brings a unique perspective on how this innovation of AI can support chefs and the planet. So before we get started, I just want to say hello. There's so many people. I love this part of our morning. We've got people from Australia and oh, the early bird is till the end of the month, just so everyone knows, for the Congress. From Philippines, we've got from Syria, hello, from USA, Louisiana, from Macedonia. It's like having my morning tea, my morning forage tea with the whole world. And with you, Alistair, good morning. Or good afternoon, I should say.
Good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon to all, and greetings to the chefs from around the world.
Okay, before we get started and we dive into the conversation, can you tell me a little bit about your journey and sort of what brought you to sort of the understanding of sustainability or maybe AI? Like, where has AI become an interest or an impact in your work?
No, thank you very much, Jonah. Journey, I'm just over 25 years in the industry. Traditionally started off like most of us in this gallery position, and you climb your way up, and knowing the difficulties of writing everything manually and before you got to the computer side. And through that process, there was quite a bit of development on understanding what it takes time in the kitchen. What is we call on-the-job learnings, what is constant development. We all have, as you can see behind you, the amount of books we had to buy, and that's all we did. We read, and we were grateful for the World Chefs magazines. And our learning platform was through reading platforms, seeing and experience, learning and working with. And taking all of that, you looked at, as time goes on, what helps you to speed up and assist you. And I think more importantly is assistance. What tools can you use? Like we have different knives for different reasons. What tools can you use to help you in your business? So restaurants, it's a multiple select of tasks that you have to achieve. And the tools of AI can assist you in that process.
Right. So I want to know sort of your perspective. Where do you sit right now? You're in South Africa. Tell me about sort of the position you hold and what that looks like. Because I think this brings a lot to the table. You are a very active chef in the world of food, and you have a broad scope. I want you to share a little bit, because I looked into it online. You know, I sneak peek online to see who I'm talking with to make sure I know who their background is. So tell us a little bit about that, and then we'll get into some of the nitty gritty.
All right, great. Thanks. Yes. I'm in South Africa, in Cape Town. So we're in the most southernest point of Africa. And I work for an amazing company. We're actually a neighborhood that consists of over 100 eateries and restaurants. We have 12 hotels. So we are a destination for food. We are located in what we call Cape Town in South Africa. mostly famous for the Table Mountain. Everybody knows one of the wonders of the world, Table
Been there, it's
Mountain.
fabulous.
Welcome you back. And we a heritage, a rich heritage site, and we alongside the ocean. So we believe we have a working harbor, and we believe in the oceans and how can we focus on food, and all the destination for food. So in a nutshell, V&A Waterfront, with all its eateries and restaurants and retail stores, we are the destination. We are voted city #1 city in the world, so that's Cape Town. So
Yeah.
we wear that with pride. And
Yes.
at the V&A, we are the destination that mostly visited by all our tourism when they come to South Africa, and we're proud of that. And what we try and do is always ensure that we have the highest standards
Yeah.
for our guest.
We have so many people coming through there, right? And so many entrepreneurs and young people starting business, like 100 different eateries, and you have hotels and restaurants. Like, that's a lot to look at and manage. So I see your perspective. There's a lot of pieces going on. So you've got to really lift people up quickly. Now, we have a lot of people watching today and a lot of people who will be watching later. The big problem I have, and I mean, I'm not a naysayer of AI. I'm an educator, and so I want people to read the books and do the hard work and do the things we had to do. But what are some of the misconceptions that you come across with chefs about AI? Because, I mean, there's a lot of haters. So what are some of the misconceptions you think that's come out?
I think the biggest is that AI is going to take over the chefing, the
Yeah,
chef.
yeah, a
We
replacement.
replacement of the chef. I think I was one of those. I am until I did my research. I was nervous. I was scared that what is this tool or
Yes.
computer or robot, as the older guy would say, coming to and replace us? Or do we still have a role or in a responsibility in industry or in the communities? And
Yeah.
until you do your research, you realize it's not replacing, it's supporting.
Supporting, because I
Yeah.
mean, for me, I always thought it's only for big restaurants and chains. It's not for the small place. It's too technical. I mean, they don't understand food. How can a computer understand, how creative I am and what kind of food I want to do? Does it mean that I have to give up control? Because I am not good with that. Anyone who knows me knows I like to hold all the marbles, or that it might just be a trend, right? Like, AI, it's going to pass. Like, it's just a blip in the screen. So what do you think of some of those? Like, is there any of those that sort of resonate with you that you've heard?
Firstly, it's not going to pass. It is here. And as long as we feed it, it's going
Yes.
to grow. So,
Okay.
and that's an important point we'll discuss, I think,
Yes.
in detail, is what we feed it.
Okay.
It is a computer at the end of the day, and it spits out what we feed, and it transcribes into knowledge-based, um, authentic or not authentic,
Right.
maybe a point of discussion. But if you ask why or where, for me, on the AI, is, if I may, I talk about the food lead of the V&A Waterfront, as you made mention of.
Yeah.
But for me, it's taking the responsibility that we have for small business development.
Okay.
If I may take the opportunity to talk about the small
Totally.
business, because
Yeah.
you'll see the relevance in the small business and how does AI affect and assist small business.
Okay.
So we are restaurateurs, hoteliers, work in industry, and I'll go back to the starting saying, how many restaurants started off in the kitchen?
Yes.
Little, they went online. What we do at the V&A Waterfront, we created a business model called the Maker's Landing.
Okay.
So the Maker's Landing, we run incubation programs annually. We have a platform of shared kitchens for small businesses to take their business from their kitchen at home
Okay.
and then give them a platform, an opportunity to work in a professional, commercial grade kitchen
Okay.
that you may rent per hourly, and we'll get to that later if time. But at Makers, we give you all the equipment
Yes.
But in that understanding, we say, okay, we give you the equipment. Well, we found that people may be able to cook and they haven't had the chance to go through all the experiences that we made mention,
Yeah.
but they don't know how to execute or amplify or accelerate their business into the retail market. How do we get the customer?
All right.
Um, and then we looked at what are the principles, what's the fundamentals of cooking, and the fundamental, the base we believe is food safety.
Okay.
Before we go into the equipment, before how do we do food safety? And we know food safety takes you time. You got to learn through the process. We got to understand the regulations for you to cater or to feed. And through that process, we looked at how can we use AI
Okay.
to help our small businesses in the different sectors. And if we'll go through today, we talk about marketing, we talk about reporting, customer review, menu experiences, pricing, um, inventory, staffing, and development. And then what does a guest want? How we all make thumb sucks, and it's amazing how data is relevant in making the right decision.
Okay.
How do you get that data? You can use an AI tool, and it helps you to spit out that data that makes you make a more viable business decision.
Okay.
That we found 80% plus of businesses fail in South Africa.
Mm,
Startups.
that's a
Why is
huge
that?
part. Yeah.
They have a lovely idea, but they can't execute it. They can't get it out. They can't, or they don't know how to when a client comes and says, tell me about your cooking methods.
Yes.
It's like, what are you talking about?
Okay.
What is your food safety? Tell me about your ingredients. Tell me about your sensory board. What sensory board did you use? Uh,
Mhm.
what, and
Yeah.
then we
So,
found the big gaps, which
so the
then
gap is
affected the,
between the
okay.
cooking and getting to that business. So, looking at that, so taking this model that you've done, which sounds phenomenal to help new entrepreneurs, whether they're caterers or want to be restaurateurs, people who are breaking into the industry. If anyone has any questions, also there is a Q&A. I am keeping my eye on it. Please put your questions into there, and we'll bring them into the conversation as well. So how exactly, like what sort of tools, you said something about inventory. What sort of ways can AI help you? Because we are a sustainable webcast. We want to speak to what does this do? What does this do for the business in using AI? How does it make it more focused or better? Where do the improvements come?
Okay, let's start with the word we use is foodpreneur.
Okay.
We take our foodpreneurs, entrepreneur,
Yeah.
foodpreneur, we
Okay.
created our foodpreneurs. If you understand a little bit of the history of South Africa, so we're not as advanced. We are developing, and we're advanced in certain sectors
Yeah.
and in certain areas. Not all. We're multicultural. We got 11 languages, so it's very
Wow.
vast.
Yes.
So when we say inclusivity,
Yeah.
sustainability, we talk about approaching foodpreneurs and giving foodpreneurs an opportunity. When we say giving an opportunity, we say, okay, like we refer to what is it that the foodpreneur needs,
Yeah.
and we go to the first principles, your regulations. Let's use the word regulations, which food safety will fall into your regulation. In South Africa, we have something called the R638. Might be corrected, but it's a regulation that we need to create a certificate of acceptability. Certificate of acceptability allows you to trade as a foodpreneur,
Okay.
sell food to public.
All right.
There's a process. If you do not know it, you will be running around to every government department trying to find the spending weeks, months to get your business registered to sell it.
Okay.
We look at what could speed that process up from weeks to hours. And we work with a local app called Spazamisa, spazamisa.co.za.
Yeah.
We can put on the link later on. But
Yes.
spazamisa.co.za is an online, this is an app, it's a tool, it's an AI tool that helps you to register your business and gives you the guideline. So what do you need? You need running water, you need a hand wash basin, you need a PPE, you
Wow.
need,
Guide you
so
through. So it's a like a consultant for small foodpreneurs, right?
100%. So we've
Ah,
taken away time that you would spend in the lines in your local health department.
yes.
You've taken away the cost of the consultant coming to give you advice and working with you for the week. So, and we're putting it in the hands of the small foodpreneur and saying, there is a tool. Here is a tool that will help you. And if you need further help than the tool that we're giving you through AI, you come back with and work with us. So we still bring in the importance of the human touch. And I think that goes back to the point we're saying that we all scared about AI and it's going to take shifting. But
Yeah.
no, if you can see how it works as a tool and supports you, and the human factor in the culinary world is always going to be important. And I think maybe I say that out of turn, but that's my perspective of
Yes.
working with the AI. So we use this AI tool, spazmisa.co.za, and we work with a very clever people that are helping to design these apps and
Yes.
implementing it in not only in the developed town areas like we have at the V&A waterfront.
Yes.
This tool is also used for the rural towns,
Okay.
the
Ah,
rural areas where it's difficult to get into town. It takes hours or days, but these guys can use it. What
wow.
does it help? It will help us to bring our level of food safety, our level of standard, our supply of different cultural needs and foods and eat to tourism, to communities, to the local. So we build the economy through these kind of tools as well.
Globally, that's an amazing tool. So this is a great one for sort of health and safety. What other sort of pieces or what other tools have you seen used in kitchens that have sort of made a difference, right?
Okay. Another one we work with is called Fuel Online. Fuel Online, I work with Steve Maresh with this. He uses it quite often. It's almost your consultant in a hand, your chef consultant in a hand, that it helps you, it gives you, again, the guidelines. It
Yes.
talks quite a bit into education.
Okay.
So Fuel Online, they focus on how to uplift your team. So let's go back to the restaurateur.
Yeah.
What does a restaurateur need to constantly do is to ongoing development for your team.
Yes.
One, we have a high replacement of staff members.
Yeah.
We need staff members during season. We coming into our peak season, summertime coming up now. As a neighborhood with 100 eateries, you can imagine the amount of staff that is required
Every year. Yeah.
through yeah, just to give you an example, we have what I just read this figure now, over 24 million visitors annually. So with over 24 million annually into one establishment, um, we can see that all these eateries will need some kind of staffing. So staff is
Yeah.
still important. But when you get new staff, you have to worry that if you don't develop the staff, your food cost affects your food cost,
Yeah.
affects your guest experience, guest satisfaction, and all these SOPs, or standard operating procedures, we work so hard into putting into our teams to keep our business growing. So
Yes.
a Fuel Online is a learning tool as well that is used to help businesses again to grow. I'm sure you have Unilever's app. They've got the Unilever Chef app. That is an amazing tool we use as well.
All right.
The UFS Academy, as it's called. I
And some of these are costly. So some people are going to wonder, some of them are costly. Like I looked up a few in my research for today, and I see there's ones that are for staff forecasting, based on your history. You can get to prep lists. Like I used to have sous chefs that would sit in my kitchen or in my office for 2 hours writing prep lists for the week so that we'd have everything ready for all the events. Imagine if you had something that could take the data of what you needed for the menu. Now you have to input it correctly and it would give you your prep list. Like, is this kind of thing usable? Is it feasible? Does it actually work well? Have you seen this?
Shona, I won't even go into too many complications. Let's start with Copilot.
Okay.
If you type into Copilot
Yes.
what you need, you just have to have a little research and say, what are you asking Copilot? Because be careful, what you ask is what you'll get.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
uh,
Know your
that's where
question well.
that's where the results get skewed
Yes.
because you put in the wrong request. So if
Okay.
you request into Copilot, I run a restaurant, it's a 50-seater. This is my current menu.
Yes.
Help me with an ingredients list.
Yes.
Copilot will help you.
Okay.
Before we go into all the apps that we're making mention of, we
Yes.
pretty start off with Copilot, and I even take it one back. WhatsApp app.
Okay.
Have you
Yeah.
ever tried the WhatsApp app
No.
and put information into that? It
Quite
will
different.
help you. It gives you the roadmap to follow. It gives you tools. But again, I always say, go back. You got to still check it. It's not the be all and end all of all your research. You got to research on the research.
Yes. If you were looking at something like, I don't know, how would you like equipment or water? Because we always talk about in sustainability, equipment, water, suppliers. Is there anything that it can help you with in those ways? Because it seems very overwhelming to try and consider and be as sustainable. I know we all want to be, but is there any help that this can do with that, do you think?
100%. I think I started the conversation saying we in oceans.
Yes.
We a neighborhood that's belonging to the ocean. So we take sustainability it's very important for us. It's a
Mhm.
key pillar in our business strategy. But we take a little bit more into seafood sustainability. We
Okay.
run thought leadership processes on
Hmm.
how can we support our small businesses, our restaurateurs, our hotels in thought leadership around sustainable seafood,
Hmm.
regenerative farming, and all important factors that we believe that makes an ethical restaurateur. But how does it help you? How, if you use the word, what I always ask the question, what is sustainability? Wow, you get a million answers.
Yes.
People straight away refer to what's a sustainable business as creating a business that washes its face, a business that is making a good income.
Yes.
Yes, that is a sustainable business model. But we talk about sustainability in the point of what is it from an ingredients point? What is it from a culinary point? What is it from the restaurateur chef's point? So we, again, I be honest with you, start off with Copilot.
Okay.
Start off with Copilot. I mean, I'm just trying to remember all these Fort.com, there's Pop Menu, there's Pesto, there's menu development. I mean, I get confused myself. There's so
Yes.
many out there to
You want
help
to
you.
choose one and try it, right? So,
Correct.
so Rami asked, has there been an AI mistake that's taught you a valuable lesson? I love this question. Has there been a time where you said, "Oh my gosh, why did we not?"
Yeah. Yep. I was helping a business to do a menu, and in a rush, I put in, give me a menu for a certain event.
Yes.
Did that and I sent it. And I realized that menu was designed for a business in Europe. It did not have our local ingredients because an interesting fact on that, and I read 1 in 700 data points come from Africa only. 1 in 700 compared to Europe and the Americas. So hence the data that's put into AI, when I said, do a menu for me for summer, blah, 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 for 40 packs, etc., it
Yes.
gave me a menu with ingredients I did not have local or seasonal or even knowledgeable about the level of chef that needed to provide that menu or execute that menu. But they sat there, looked at me and said, wow, what a beautiful menu. Now it's time for execution.
Yes.
And I had to substitute most of those ingredients. And as
Mm,
we know, a menu is your contract. It's
Yes.
what the guest expects.
You have to
Then
commit.
what do you have to do? You got to go back and explain, and then you look like you are no good cook.
So this is where I guess you think about where does the chef come into this? So I will say I want to create. So I'm doing with my students at school in our menu planning class. We're doing a 3-course menu, and my students just want to go into ChatGPT or Copilot and put in a menu without any parameters. Where does the chef come into it? Where should I say? Because I was afraid to let my students or let chefs, if I was consulting with them, use AI solely. Where do you find the line is? What is your input? What is the piece that, and someone is saying, can AI ever truly match chef's creativity? We know that's a no, but
It's no.
what's your answer to where do you come in as a chef?
The sh we, the chef, is still the ultimate tool. AI is there as a supporting strategy. Supporting. It's there to time save you. It's there to give you ideas. It's there to give you a different way of thinking of a menu.
Mm,
The chef, the knowledge, experience, that can't be taken away. It can be evolved on, but it can't be taken away from you. So I think, where is the fine line? Well, that's a bit of a tricky one when it comes to the level from starting with education, because I'm saying, do we embrace it in education? I think we have to,
yeah,
because it is the way of the world.
I'm working on it.
Well, I think for me, is teaching from your level of, let's take the youth, on what is the role of the AI is not the ultimate answer
Yes.
to creating, let's take the menu or the recipe, because that's still through trial and testing, because it's weather, it's season, it's altitude, it's ingredients, and all that play in when you're writing up or when you're testing up a recipe.
Yes. So yeah, speaking to young chefs, I mean, the or chefs in general, when we create a menu, it's not just about the input of I need a 6-course menu for a gala dinner. That's not enough. It doesn't tell the chefs your story, your region, your mission statement, your local fare, your style of cooking. So this is sort of the dance you do with AI. You let them do the piece that they do well. Like they can do inventory, waste control with things like Winnow. I've always wanted to have one of those in one of our kitchen where it takes photos of your waste and manages it for you and helps you
And
that
measure
way,
it, yeah.
right? Or scheduling assistant, sitting there scheduling with everyone's needs and trying to consider all of your staff to keep a sustainable staff so that you have, staff that stays all through the season. Because in a busy season in a place like yours, I'm sure you want to hold on to them for the whole season and not lose them. But with telling your story and with considering your region, that's, I guess, where the chef does the most work, right?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, the hands of the chef is still the creativity, the mind of the chef.
Yes.
We know the mind of the chef that thinks in every direction possible. It's about the art, it's about the
Yeah.
creativity. So, where's the fine line? Is the fundamentals of understanding what is food,
Yes.
what's important of food, what's important of why we're cooking, the
Yeah.
nutritional values.
Yeah. The
That is so
functionality of food,
the
even, right?
functionality.
Yes. Yeah, I love that idea of bringing innovation or that technology and creativity together. I think you had an article on that, which was fabulous to read as well. So is how big is the learning curve? So I've used it a little, but some people have maybe watching, that's why they're tuning in today, haven't used it at all. How big of a learning curve, or is it really hard to get into? Do you find it intuitive most of the sites, or what do you find?
I find it can be like space. Once
Okay.
you start, it just
Yes.
continues and continues, and you can get lost in it, or you can use it to your benefit. And for the guy that's never used it, start off with a step one. Define your goal. What do you want to do? What
Mhm.
is your goal? I want to understand food costing.
Yes.
Type in food costing. It will give you an a, a document for you to study or learn that gives you the full insight to food costing. But
Yes.
again, that'll give you an insight on the basics of food costing.
Yes.
But now you're saying, how do I take food costing and I have a product that is made for one portion, but now I got to make 60,000 portions of that.
Mhm.
How does my food costing get affected then?
Yes.
So it's again the questions you ask, but you start off by saying, define your goal. What is your goal? What do you want? What do you want to get from that? Then you can go into start and saying, what is my reference to that point?
Yeah.
What am
It's
I referencing? Where's my, and what's a proven tool? What's an example? And you build onto the next step then. And you go in and say, it's about a building process. So you got to start off small
yes.
to get the feel of the words you need to use, the description,
Yeah.
and then you start off with an app that is probably free to everybody. I'm not too sure what you guys Copilot. I know it comes with Microsoft,
Yeah.
and
Same.
um,
Yeah.
we
So
have
there's
that.
like what you said. Some one of the people that are watching here had said you've got to. The big thing for this learning curve, which I think is a great comment, is learning prompting skills, how to ask for what you want, right? If you're doing menu analysis or menu engineering or talking to any kind of AI, you have to learn how to ask for what you want. So my questioning when I use any sort of AI has totally changed. I think about you have to consider who is your audience, who you are as the speaker, what your end goal is. And if you have all those pieces and you ask the right prompts, then you're going to get the right output, right? If you don't put it in
Okay,
right, you're going to get crazy answers.
but Shona, take it one step back.
yes,
You can put into Copilot
yes,
all your thoughts. Just put it in
yes.
and say, reword it to ask the following.
Oh,
It'll
wow.
reword your prompts that you need to
Oh, that's
prompt for
super.
your answer.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. I struggle so hard to make sure I'm asking the right question. So what a great learning. Thank you. That's
Yeah.
I will
I
start doing that now.
sometimes I write like I speak,
Yes.
and today I'm on point A, and then I'm suddenly on to point Z, and then I
Yes.
got to come back, and then you'll notice you send that email to the CEO, and he's like, "What the hell are you trying to say?"
Yeah, make sure it's
And
clear as we read
you
it,
put that
right?
into Copilot, and you say, "Ah, rewrite this for me for my CEO's clarity,
Yeah.
and this
So
is the
I
line."
I love the idea that it can be great in helping with data accumulation, um, how to look for sustainable things. Like you could find sustainable equipment. How could I find the most sustainable piece to carry on my fry truck, right? Whatever it is, wherever you're working, right? Or it will give you time as a chef. I really hear that it empowers you by
Yeah,
having the space to give the leadership direction and really have a vision that you can share with your team by having this AI tool with you, whichever ones you're using. If you're using a menu design, or if you're using something that helps with scheduling or with waste or to do your inventory, it's spotting trends in your business and innovating within your own business, small, big, any size. Yes?
correct. Yes, any size. I mean, again, it's depending on what we go back to. What is your goal?
Yes.
What is your goal? What do you want to achieve? We started the conversation and we went to the the chef entrepreneur,
Yes.
the restaurateur. Then we went on to the foodpreneur, which is a
Yes.
small emerging businesses. Then
Yes.
we talk about tourism. How can AI help you in analyzing your tourism, your tourists, your guests, your clients, your packs,
Yes.
the bums on the seats, as we
Yes.
say. AI can help you track all this. So we spoke about training and education, the importance and how it works with us in different levels of training and education. And then ingredients.
Yeah.
The big
Knowing what
factor
you need. Yes.
is ingredients, sustainability,
Yeah. Knowing
season.
how you can move towards it, right? I'm sure AI, you can curtail it. Maybe some parts of the world, like it said, there was someone in here talking about in South Africa. I think it was no, just in an African experience, they wouldn't know what a bunny chow is or boerewors or a
Yeah,
Brady is because they don't know, you have to know about the African dining experience, right? So you have to bring that to the table. I would
100%.
say probably the same for Canadian. There's probably some, but there's not a lot to say maybe about our indigenous foods, right? You have to
But
have that
isn't
information.
that still the role of the chef?
Absolutely.
It's us. We like we made mention that AI doesn't have all your answers.
Yes.
It's the tool to guide you. So we spoke about ingredients and the amount of data from that we're talking from a South African point of view.
Yes.
Um, Again, we still have to create. We still have to input. We want to create a bunny chow that consists of a quarter bread dug out
Yes.
with the following ingredients: a curry inside, served in, and AI can then learn from that and help us to say, okay,
There are other
this is your
people too.
ingredients.
Yeah. Yeah,
This
yeah,
is
yeah.
from you what you told me, this is your ingredients. And from the curry, this is a basic curry recipe. You still got
Mhm.
to advance on that recipe.
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. I love this, and we're gonna have to start to wrap this up. We've gone a little bit over time, but I really the innovation and ideas that can come from this, because I hate the monotonous of data entry. I really don't have the attention span to stay with some things like writing prep. I do it because I know it needs to be done. Prep lists or inventory lists or data entry of recipes or adjusting them. This can take away some of that overwhelming need for work and really focus on the creativity, your staff building. For chefs watching and are curious or maybe unsure where to start, what's a small way you think that they can begin exploring or using AI in their kitchen today? Like even if they don't consider themselves tech savvy, what's something that they could do today to try it? What do you think?
I suggest they try with understanding their local regulation on food safety,
Mm,
just to see if you complied. It's a little your own little audit.
okay. And see if AI can help them with that.
Eh,
There's got to be a
be-
local that does
be-
that, right?
Besides the app I told you we use, I mean, around the world, you got different apps or different co-pilots, etc. You just type in the country you're from, what is my food regulation, and what is my checklist? How would I audit myself?
Wow, that's a great takeaway. I mean, everyone should know theirs and see how does this jive with me, okay? And then maybe they would take one of their menus and input the data that they want and see how close it comes to the menu that they actually wanted. Like, I think that would be a great, fun way to see the
Correct.
comparison and where you come into the complement of creating the menu, right? I want to say thank you, Chef Alistair, for sharing your wisdom with your passion with us today. It's clear that AI is not just a trend, as I had formerly said, but it's another tool in our kit for our toolbox, right? To everyone watching, you really have the power to make small but meaningful changes. You've heard the call to action. Go out there and try it. It's not a push to make everyone AI. It's to have you embrace the opportunity to grow, to have the data in another piece of equipment in your toolbox, right? And sustainability starts with one decision, one dish, one chef at a time. Um, our next generation is going to be really well armed with AI. They know the behind the scenes, they're learning it in schools, they're learning it in kitchens, and these tools are going to take them exponentially forward. I can't wait to see what comes next. We will see you next time on Sustainability Around the World. Everyone,